Hello everyone. So today we will be talking about async await mostly. So async await is another way of handling the promises in JavaScript. So let's recap what is a promise. So promise is an object which will be a value after some time. That's because we're sending a request to the backend or another server backend for the most of the time. So we're sending a request to backend, and then backend will send us a promise which will either be resolved or rejected. So let's read using promises first. So we should have actually done this in the last video, but it's fine. Let's go through this. So a promise is an object representing the eventual completion or failure of an asynchronous operation. From this we get async and await. So basically a promise is returned object to which you attach callbacks instead of passing callbacks into a function. Okay, so basically we can do callbacks like this, or we do promises, which is much cleaner. As you can see, we will be talking about this in details in our next video, like callbacks versus promises, but let's not go there for now. So let's try to use promise with async await. So the async function expression is like this. So just our regular function, but we use async keyword in front of it. Let's go to our example here. So this is our code for our dot then thing. So we can do this using dot then and async await. So let's try to do the same thing with async await. Let's try to create a async function get data from API. Let's say this is our function, and let's paste this and comment the first line and keep it in a variable. So let's say promise data, and we use await in front of it. So we are waiting. This is the async function, and we are waiting this data. So we are awaiting this data. So basically what it does is push it into a different micro task queue, which is not bothered by the call stack. We haven't talked about call stack yet. We will be talking about call stack and behind the scenes after a while. For now, let's just understand that we are awaiting for this data. So we are sending a request, and then we are waiting for this data, and which will return a promise, and we do const data await promise data. Should I pass it like this? I forgot actually. Oh no, we need to do .json as well. Right, I forgot. So let's do a log of the data and open. Oh, it is already open, my bad. So what we get is we get nothing. Okay, well, I didn't call the function, of course. We also need to call the function. So we're calling the function, and the function is running, which is async function, which will await for this data and then await for this promise data once again, and then run a .json to get the JSON data out of it. Okay, so we get not found. I think the API endpoint is wrong here. Let's try to see that. Oh yeah, it's giving us nothing. Let's go to the main page and see what else. We need to do comments. Let's do comments, and we get, yes, we get all the data just like we did with dot then. So it's pretty much the same thing, just we are using a extra function with async, and then we are awaiting the data, and then once we get the data, so let's see what we get in the data. Let's log the promise data as well. So promise data, this is also a promise, and then we are awaiting for this promise once again, and then we are running a .json method which will parse the code as JSON. and then we are logging out the data. I think we are parsing the data from, let's see what dot JSON function does. JSON method of the response interface takes a response stream and reads it to completion. It returns a promise which resolves with the result of parsing the body text as JSON. Okay, so basically we are receiving the JSON and we are turning it into JavaScript object here. So this is JavaScript object, but it was JSON file. I mean JSON object, my bad. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. As you can see, we can do the same thing we did here like this as well. We just need to do this and then uncomment all this. Okay, so let's see what we get. We get 2 of this data. Let's comment this one out or delete this. Actually, we don't need it. Okay, so we are creating a async function, and then we are awaiting the API to send us the data, and then we are running a .json method, and then we are logging out the data here. And we have another method here which is using the fetch and then response.json, and then logging out the data normally. And we have a finally. Let's delete the finally, we don't need it. So we have two of the instances here. As you can see, we get 500 comments right here, and we get 500 comments right here. So if we comment this one out, it still works, or if we comment this one out, it still works. Okay, so basically they're both very similar. We can use either of them. We can just use fetch and then response. We're taking the response from the API, and then we are running a .json method which will be giving us the data. This is the data, and then we are taking the data in and logging out the data, and we are also handling the error right here. Okay, so you might wonder, how do we handle error in async await? Let's see, async await error handling. How do we handle error in async await? So we have, where's the async function? I don't see it. Okay, so we do try catch. Okay, let's do that. Sorry about that. So when we are using dot, then we use dot catch to catch the error. Let's show you guys the error first. So let's run the function normally and then do comment like previously, and then we are getting dot get 404 not found. So now what we do is run this thing in try catch block and dot data log data. Okay, so now we should see the error. No, no, why not? Let's see. Did I close the tab? I did. Yeah. So try catch is one way to do this. So why we are not getting the error? Handle error, try catch. Let's just to see. No, we're not catching the error properly. I wonder why. Error. This seems okay to me. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, we can use dot catch like that as well. Oh, I did not know this. Let's give that a try. So let's log this out and do only this, and command, and then we do dot catch. We take a function, log the error. Okay, it's still not working. Let's try the other one if that is handling our error. Comment. Okay, I see. Oh, I understand now. So basically, JSON placeholder, they did not keep reject reject message like we did previously. So basically, you have to set a resolve message and a reject message. So if there's a reject message, we get the message as error. Otherwise, we don't get it. That's why we were not getting it. So if we do try catch like this, we should be able to get the catch the error. Let's try this with one of our promises from here. So let's see where we have a promise. Yeah. Okay. So let's take Arshad promise once again. Here we go. Okay. So basically we need to await. Let's not ruin this. Let's just copy paste this and comment this one out. Let's do await Arshad promise, and then we can do just promise it. So as we can see, we get food delivered, but if we were to resolve it, so let's set it to false, and we get food is not delivered. As you can see, try catch is also getting the error, just like we did with dot catch. So we are getting the error right here. So we are trying this code. So try catch is another thing we haven't talked about. So try catch is just a error handling method. So we try to run this code, and if it is not resolved or it is not successful, we catch the error just like we do right here. So we can do the same thing here as well. Let's do that to understand things better. So we don't need this, we don't need a fetch. We can just do a promise dot then. Okay, so as you can see, we get food is not delivered on both of them because we are handling error with dot catch like this and catch like this. So they are both pretty much the same thing. So let's set it to true, and both of them should be saying food delivered. It is not saying because response.json is not a function. So what we can do is just log out our response. We don't need to run a JSON here because this is not a JSON thing. This is just a regular object. So as you can see, we get dot then response console log, and we get food delivered from both dot then or dot not dot, I mean try catch block, try block basically. And if we set to false, we get the error from both here and here. Okay, so they're both pretty similar, and you can use either one. I would strongly suggest you to use both of them to have a better understanding of things. So to run async await function, we need to do async in front of the function, and to handle the error, we must do try catch, and we do promise data dot await or then fetch, or Arshad promise, we have a promise here, and then we do log of the data after awaiting a while. So if it is resolved, we'd get the food delivered. If it is rejected, we'd get food is not delivered. So it's very similar to dot then and uh, async await. Very similar. They're very similar, and I would urge you to use both of them and have a strong understanding of them. This is really important because As a front-end developer, you would do most of the data fetching from backend or database, not straight from database, but backend will fetch the data from database, and then you'd get the data from backend. So most of the time you'll be using asynchronous things like this. So you'd have to make request to backend and then show the data to your homepage. So let's say these things like complete beginners, async function, this might be in front end, but these all texts or all the things we see, they're all coming from backend. Let's go to the network tab and try to see what network things we are getting, what network calls we are making, rather. Okay, so let's see. This is analytics, get. Okay, so as you can see, we are getting these data from the backend. So country, it is saying Bangladesh, BD, username null because I have not logged in, email null. So this is another object, and this is also handling a async await or promise or whatever method they have used. But this is coming from the backend, and we must handle that and show it in here somewhere. That's how front end and back end works together. So you must really have a very good understanding of asynchronous programming, asynchronous, and how it's working. I talked about microtask queue. I have already talked about call stack, but I have not explained how call stack works and anything. But I have talked about call stack and microtask queue in this video. I will be talking about them in near future. So subscribe to my channel and keep watching. Thank you very much. And if you didn't understand anything, feel free to comment down below or uh, text me on Facebook or other social media or whatever, wherever you can find me, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'll be happy to help you, and I will open a Discord channel soon. I think after I have like 200 or uh, 200 subscribers, let's say. So I'm close to 100. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.